Hello everybody and welcome to Ascot Champions Day preview. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy British champions. End of the flas for the UK, technically.
Yep, end of the flat for the UK. What a great weekend, what a great day's racing tomorrow's going to be.
It's such a treat, Rich. Coming off the Arc, it's such a treat.
It is. It hasn't rained all week, so those soft ground horses that everybody seems to be selecting prior to the racing of Champions Weekend probably doesn't quite work, but hey, we'll get to that when we get to the races. So
the anti-posts are toast.
they could well be. Right, let's start with the 12:55, which is pretty early start.
But we're heading into the winter.
We are.
So
That's true.
It's
getting dark earlier.
Clocks are going back next week, so
yep.
Yeah.
Long distance cup to start us off.
Yeah.
A small field, a small select field, but some good horses.
Very good horses, and you say small but select. Quality over quantity. People are saying the stayers are gone. I don't think so. The good news is Princess Zara had made it very clear with Darius that they've managed to breed speed back into stayers. So in a couple of years' time, that's all positive, Rich, that we are, going to see a few more coming back in. So with that being said, for me, I'm Trawler Man all the way. He does nothing wrong. Now, the only thing he did do wrong a couple of years ago was beat Kyprius, because Kyprius was the one and only. But Trawler Man all day for me in here. Like Kevin Blake said earlier in an interview, he sinks them, and that's what he does.
Yep.
I think Al Kareem is worth each way play. I thought his win 2 weeks ago when we were at the Arc and he was back your side of the pond was so good, and he's such a good horse. He turns up. Yeah, for me, Trawler Man all the way with a little bit of Al Kareem.
Al Kareem each way. Obviously, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Stay True, the boy Stay True. Finally, we get to see him. It seems that every time I think he's going to run, he's a non-runner. I believe that he potentially could have won the Lingfield Derby trial, but they wanted Puppet Master that day. I think he could have got a bit closer. Don't think he would have beaten Scandinavia, but could have got maybe a bit closer in the Ledger. But again, ran a great race in third. I think that Ballydoyle think that he could potentially be their Gold Cup horse next year. I hope, anyway, that Illinois hasn't done it, has he?
No, and Illinois
obviously Scandinavia is going to probably be their number one, but if he, I don't know, doesn't quite make it for some reason or not, then Stay True is going to be waiting in the wings. I will have to back Stay True at about fives.
You're going to be so happy to see him.
I'm happy to see him. I think Trawlerman will win the race.
Yeah.
But you never know. He's unexposed. He's a 3-year-old. Gets a tiny bit of weight. If Trawlerman's not on his A game, if he's not on his A game, then Stay True on ground he'll probably prefer.
Yeah.
Maybe the one to pick up the pieces. He's not on each way price, although he probably is. If there's 6 runners, you can get each way top 2 at 5s. But no, I'll be taking the win. I'll be taking him in the win, but I think if he wins, I'll be ecstatic. But I'm going to be expecting Trawlerman to win the race. So.
Yeah, and you'd be disappointed. And just on a quick note, I always find with British champions that Aidan, as brilliant as he is and as brilliant as the horses are, it's a hard one to crack for him. And it's just, I'm haunted by Kyprius.
I think it's usually because they've had a long, hard season.
Yeah.
But Stay True hasn't.
No, he hasn't. That's true, yeah.
Probably been injured.
It's true about Stay True.
We haven't heard if he was injured, but he must have been, because I'm sure he would have run in potentially derbies, unless they thought we need to save him for the Ledger, because he's a stayer in the making. And Stay True for me, but probably just Trawlerman wins.
Man, he sinks them all.
Yeah. Moving on to the second race, and it's the 1:30 2-year-old conditions race. Now, I will just say before you get started, not really sure why they put a 2-year-old race in. I know Kipco are keen to get a very good 2-year-old race on the card on Champions Day, but if you've already got future Champions Day at Newmarket for the future champions 2-year-olds, I'm not sure why they then want another 2-year-old race in a conditions race as well that has no conditions pretty much, because there's no penalty for group race wins. It seems a little bit odd to me to have it, but it's a good turnout. Just why more than why not? Why not? Why not? Because they have future Champions Day.
And but you're getting an extra treat. It's like a Brucey bonus. You're getting to see these wonderful 2-year-olds.
I think they should probably have put a high value handicap in instead.
No, look,
Give those horses a chance to run on the big days.
No, because there's already enough complaints about handicaps, why there's so many handicaps. I've made it clear, and this will go back to Whirlpool too. Whirlpool gives such a great opportunity to people. We've had it in Ireland. Derby weekend, there's people with their handicap horses that have been able to come out on a Derby weekend and to be able to say as a small owner, Rich, you know it, I know it.
That's what I mean. You're saying why not? That's why you have another handicap
Yeah, but
on a
you've
big
got
day.
the Balmoral. Look, you've got the Balmoral. Be happy with that. But look, it's a double-edged sword for me. I'm being selfish here because I am dying to see Words of Truth, and I'm glad this conditional's coming up. I adore Mission Central as well. You know, I've championed him from the Curragh, and Kansas is in here now. Kansas, for me, I always think needs further. He's Wooden Bassett, but he's Galileo on his mum's side, which makes me think he needs further. He's 14-1 in here. Am I going to have a sentimental? Possibly, but he definitely needs further. He had a pipe opener at Dundalk. He disappointed at Dundalk.
Very good, was it?
But Words of Truth in here.
Yep.
Charlie Appleby, he's been so patient with him. Newbury's up the road. He spat his bit out at Newbury. He was 8, and now he's just gone from strength to strength to strength. His run the last day behind Jim Boyle's Into the Sky next year. Get him into the trackers. A brilliant horse. A brilliant horse. So for him to be a brilliant horse and Words of Truth to have beaten him, for me in here, it's Words of Truth. Luke de Vega, another sire of the season, and Mission Central, I'll just say keep an eye on him if you do like him. He is a gelding, but he's very blowy. You'd still think he was a colt. He spat his bit out in the Childers last time, but if you like Revival Power, you're going off that form. He was 6, not a disgraceful 6, but he got upset in his stalls.
Yeah, he was upset. Yeah.
His 2 runs previous to that,
very good.
Very, very good. Fun fact, Michael O'Leary bred him.
Well, there you go. Gigginstown bred.
Yeah.
And he would be my each way selection, but again, I won't be backing him anti-post or backing him prior. You need to see him in the parade ring, see if he's sweaty, see if he's blowing over, and again, even going down to the start, see how keen he is, and place your bets late if you are going to have a play on him. He'll probably shorten up late if he is calmer than he has been. But yeah, Words of Truth, he's rated far in excess of any of the other horses in the race. He is a gelding as well. Yeah, I think
Cruelest cut for the best, two of the best 2-year-olds, I think.
Just best horse wins race.
Yeah.
That is literally it in this race, and that's why it's a bit of a pointless race for me, because best horse wins race. You've got so many you've got a horse rated so much higher than the rest of them. That's why he's slightly odds on, but I think he should be more odds on than he is. Yeah, so Words of Truth just wins this with Mission Central as a small each way if he goes down and he's calmer in the prelims than the normal. So, no disgrace to all the other horses in the race, but yeah, Words of Truth just wins.
So we're either going to see a Godolphin double
Yep.
in the first and the second, or a Ballydoyle in the first and the second.
That's true.
Either way,
Yep.
we'll be happy,
That
you
is
know.
true.
Either way, we'll be.
I will give a little quick shout because we've got our Racing Come Dancing t-shirts on.
Very nice.
Kindly, the training has been sponsored by the Tote.
We're on our way to training.
We are actually on our way to training. Kindly sponsored by the Tote, and I will just say that the Tote have money back on horses that are second in all the World Pool races this weekend. That isn't the long distance cup, but that is races 2 to 7. So yeah, money back. I think it's up to a tenner, so it's not huge, but it's something. So if you fancy a horse, back it on the Tote, and you will get your money back if the horse comes second, which I think is a good.
A little bit of money back.
Yeah.
You're happier than coming out, you know.
Definitely.
Bird in the hand, better than in the bush.
Exactly. So that's just a little quick shout for some value there. We move on to race 3, which is a race for the sprinters. I will just say we did put it in text in the vlog at Longchamp. Asphora, what a great performance from her, but we were a little bit sidetracked because we saw Henry Dwyer running around like a blue-arsed fly. We thought that it was potentially that she wasn't going to run because of the ground. Turns out they'd left the passport in the hotel.
Yeah.
The horse passport wasn't there, and it's not digital, it's all actual passports in hand. If the horse doesn't have the passport on them, the horse can't run. So they managed to find an Uber driver that went to the hotel, picked the passport up and got it there in time. She then ran and won. So yeah,
that Uber driver actually backed her as well.
Well, yeah, they did apparently give a nice tasty tip to the Uber driver as well, which was obviously great for him. But yeah, Asphora did the job. Probably a little bit of a shock to me because I didn't think she'd handle the ground as well.
No,
but someone did point
I.
out to me that the ground was fresher in the middle because it was the only race in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is good point, fair point.
The
Anyway.
one that no one can see, so anything could actually happen out there and you couldn't see it.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, she's not in this race. We haven't got Arizona Blaze, who's another horse that's won 2 of the bigger sprints this year. It's a tough race for me. It's a tough race to pick the winner because they all take it in turns this year, like I said on the France vlog. The one horse I can't have is the favourite, Lazat. For me, 4-1 is way too short for a horse that could completely bolt
and then do a lap of honour and hold the whole day up again.
Exactly. So I think that horse is too short in the betting. I think may drift as well on the day.
Yeah.
That I may be proven wrong, but it worked for Bedtime Story. So if Lazat shortens any more than 4s, I'll probably be a layer on the exchange. I'd love Big Mojo to do it. One of my 5 to follow.
Such a cool
Obviously
horse.
won his Group 1 last time, and he comes in here, yeah, with a good chance. He's 5-1. He's probably a tiny bit too short for me to be playing. I have backed Montasib at 16-1. All the members are on as well at 16s. We haven't had the rain. It's not that his chance is completely gone. He has won on good ground, so he does still have a chance, and he's about 6, maybe 7-1 now. So we've got a value bet. I just think if the rain was there, the horse would have had a much better chance of winning. We'll be staying on like a train at the end of the race, as his customary run style does. But my each way pick will be Rayevka in this race. The French raider, another French raider, and not Lazat. Graffard, fresh off his Arc win. Barcelona, obviously on a high as well. I think the horse is maybe a bit underrated in the market. About 14 or 16-1 I think you can get. Good form, was 3rd in the Commonwealth Cup, finished 2nd on his side. We actually won't know much about the draw until after this race. We'll find out a bit more whether you want to be drawn near side, far side.
She's got your 3-year-old allowance.
She does.
She also has Lake Victoria. If we all remember Lake Victoria. Lake Vicky, wherever you are, I hope you're well. Yes, so that is what would turn me on with her. Funnily enough, Rich, Mikel had his first winner at Ascot this year.
I did think that.
Isn't that crazy?
I was actually thinking, when I was looking through, I was like, has he ever had a winner at Ascot?
Yeah, this year, his first.
Calandigan.
Yeah, and that was it.
I thought that because he got beat on Zaragana
Yeah.
when he probably should have won at Royal Ascot, and yeah, I couldn't pick a winning ride from Barcelona out of my head. So yeah, one winner.
For the French.
Maybe that is slightly against her, but you know, he won the Arc.
I wouldn't exactly, and he had a very, very good Arc weekend. I think now he has, he's the experience on his side. He has done an Epsom Derby. I think once he's broke his duck,
Now he'll just get a few
he'll
more.
just keep going.
Yeah, I think Revka with that Commonwealth Cup form 3rd has some decent form in the book as well. Probably a decent enough each way price. That would be mine. What about you?
There's 20 in here.
Yep, there's 20.
They're going to
How
be
many are you
spicy.
picking?
They're very, very spicy. We seen when we were in the parade ring at Goodwood, they were everywhere. Their back ends everywhere. The back ends of a cook and the bodies of an angel. I would love to see Big Mojo do it again. He was going to the Abbey. They did say that was with the idea, but obviously they've saved their birthday cake for the big day.
Yep.
I'd love to see him. I think he's just beautiful. He's a chunk. Ravika, each way play for me. I like a little bit of each way play with King Coon. I marked him up in the weekly email that's free that we send out, and he was very good when he only went down by a neck to Art Power 2 weeks ago, when Art Power had won that race at the Curragh 3 times now. Art Power's in here. I don't think the ground has come for him. I just love him. And also in here, 10 Bob Tony. I thought 10 Bob Tony ran a great race when he was 3rd Arc weekend.
Yeah.
Now we have discussed this. Are they going to be tired horses? Well, they're not being sent out if they look that tired at home. So I think 10 Bob Tony each way play, Ravika each way play, and King Coon I think should run into the placings. I think he's 28-1 or something somewhere, but out of the winners I'm going to be probably very safe, Rich, and I'm going to say Big Mojo.
Okay, Big Mojo for you. Yep.
Yeah.
Works for me. On to the fillies and mares. Another horse that I'm going to be laying in this is Kalpana. I cannot have Kalpana at 11-4. She's been shortening up all week. I think that's far too short in this race. It's not the deepest race in the world, but it wasn't last year when she won. No disrespect to all the other fillies and mares in the race last year, but I looked through and I was, it wasn't the greatest race. She hasn't been at her best this year. People have said You know, she's been beaten by good horses, which is true, but she just doesn't look like she wants to quite go through with it, quite go past. And when I saw her walking around the parade ring before the arc, she just looked head down, a bit apologetic, a bit like, don't really love this anymore. I don't know if that's true, and I didn't think she ran that well in the arc. Colin, I think, got off and said she got bumped around a bit.
Yeah, he did. He said he was very disappointed with how she ran. He said that she was bumped left, right and centre, and with her being a little bit apologetic,
Fragile, yeah.
she probably doesn't like to be bumped around.
Some
if she
fillies
gets
are like that,
away,
aren't they?
if she goes out the front and she gets away and nothing catches her, but you'd want to hope that she gets out the front and you've got some very good fillies in here that are going to fillies that have gone again. I know she has gone against colts as well this year, but Gavioletto eyeballed her down. We've seen what Gio did in the arc. You know, it's a tough one, Rich, but who you like? You said who you don't like.
Yeah, so I said who I don't like, and also Bedtime Story is in here. It's nice to see Aidan dropping her in trip a little bit.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun.
Look, I can't lay her this time because, well, she was 33. She's been backed into about 10s.
10s?
It's still not a layable price.
Still beyond factor.
It's still not a layable price for me, but yeah, if I'm going to lay, it will be the favourite. So Lazat lay, Kalpana lay, but We Might Take the Long Way is my selection. I backed her on Arc Weekend. She was flying over 10 furlongs. This is now over 12 furlongs, so hopefully the trip will suit a little bit better. Again, we wonder if it's come too soon. We don't know, but all her best form has been over 12 furlongs in both Oaks. She ran in the English and the Irish Oaks. She was behind Mini Hawk. She was 4th in the English and she was 2nd in the Irish. I mean, you can't really knock any form behind Mini Hawk, can you?
And also,
she actually beat Mini Hawk on Mini Hawk's debut last year.
And I hadn't realised that. And also now she flopped in the Ballysacks. But if you like Lambourne and you like Delacroix,
well, that's
she
it.
was running against them, the
she
boys
was running against
again.
the boys, yeah.
Can you do it in the Irish accent though?
What?
We might take the long way.
We might take the long way.
Road, or the long road.
Well, you did actually get her name wrong in the Oaks, didn't you?
Way,
And I was thinking, who are you on here? Who have you backed here?
Yeah.
That was then. This is now. We Might Take the Long Way. Joseph O'Brien, Dylan Brown McMonagall. I think it could be her day. She also gets the 3-year-old allowance against the girls. Obviously, I'm going to have to give a massive shout out to Estrange. She's been held back for this race. They were probably hoping they'd get softer conditions. They haven't. But if she takes a chance, she's got a great chance. Again, she ran really well in the Yorkshire Oaks. She was behind Mini Hawk that day, giving her weight. And yeah, will she get her big day? Will she get her Group 1 that she deserves? I hope so. I probably won't be backing her at 4-1 if she drifts a bit because of the ground.
You know you're going to
get what?
You know they're going to give you hell for that race.
If she drifts a bit,
she goes into 6-4. You're like, why didn't you take her at 4-1?
She's not going to go into 6-4, is she? Unless the heavens open, then she might, and then yes, I would be getting involved.
And it will just
4s.
lie on the top of Ascot. It ain't getting into this ground,
it's not.
believe me.
I don't know if they're watering either. I did try and find that out. I'm sure they do like to put some water on at Ascot, but it usually deadens the ground, which we don't want at all. It's going to be genuinely good ground. It's going to be safe for all the horses. That's the main thing. It's not going to be as quick as Royal Ascot. It's not going to be as slow as they expected. But the ground's going to be okay, and hopefully Estrange, puts her best foot forward.
It'd be a nice way to finish off the season your side of the pond, and like David O'Mara was so excited for the Cheveley Park Unicorn, and we were so excited when we thought we were going to see her at the Arc. It didn't happen. It was probably better that it didn't happen in the end, but I just, when she was given £9 to Mini Hawk and she was still able to run like that, whether you liked or didn't like the Yorkshire Oaks, I thought that was a brilliant performance. She's a star and people love her, and for me, I hope she does win. Kalpana, I feel a little bit sorry for. I do. I think obviously the backers don't feel sorry for her. They still have a lot of faith. They do, and they listen to Colin with what he said, and I'd be only too happy should she win. Quizima, people
French
have
horse,
to Google that. She was 9th in the Arc, okay, so there was 2.5 lengths between her and Kalpana, who was 7th, and I'm going, well, she's 15-2. Why is she 15-2 and Kalpana is 5-2, isn't she? So where are you seeing the difference there? The Frenchies can throw something up, but I'm with you for each way playage, Rich. We may take the long way as well. Now, what I will say
I know
is,
you're going to say it, aren't you?
we're going to end up with Dua Lipa on our face. I have a feeling here, and we've probably manifested it up into the skies. If One Look wins, One Look it's been too many times. She was one of my 5 to follow this year. If she wins, I'm delighted and excited. But for me, a strange in here, and I think we may take the long way.
I just will say we did it with Damasus.
We did.
And who else did I do it with? There was another horse that I did it with as well, and you were like, why did you not back? And I was like, oh, I can't keep backing. Yeah, go on in the Dewhurst.
Go
yeah.
on. And that hurt.
Me. That did hurt because it was 25 to 1. Yeah. And I think one look's going to be about that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah, if she's 25s, 33s, then you might take £1 each way just to say you were on.
You would, to say you would, and you couldn't have followed her all year and then left her alone. But we've been burnt too many times.
We have, and you know, we might take the long way. Was just in front of her at Longchamp, so I think that will only be exaggerated over a longer trip.
And I have a feeling Watnam are going to have a winner. Where does it come from? Does it come from Lestat? Does it come from her? Does it come from somewhere else? Who knows? But again, go on to their socials. Incredible stuff.
Okay. On to the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes over a mile. This is a really, really, really good race. I mean, they all are good races as you expect for Champions Weekend, but yeah, this is class. Obviously, I'm going to have to stick with my boy Rosalian. I just have to, don't I? Obviously, he deserves his Group 1. He's been beaten, 3 times by less than a head in Group 1s this year. You know, if it had been spun the other way and he'd have won all 3, we'd be talking about one of the best horses of a generation here. Obviously, he hasn't, so we can't. And he is against Field of Gold here. I wouldn't be backing Field of Gold at that price because you're taking it on trust that he's okay after the Sussex. Obviously had an injury, has been waited with. They've done the right thing. They haven't forced it. Is he going to be at his best? I don't know. If he is at his best, he just wins this race. And that's fair enough.
Magnificent horse, but we don't know. There's been too many drinks between time, as they say, or whatever it is.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while, but it's been a while with economics too for the next, and we'll discuss that after. But you have to stick with your boy.
Yeah, got to stick with Rosalian here. He has to give weight to the 3-year-olds, and it's tough to do that, obviously, but it's less weight now than it was. I don't know. I'll have to just go with Rosalian. Just one more time, please. Can you do it this once? Just once. One last time. Before he probably does go to stud. Yeah. And I would be very, very interested in his stud fee.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to get him cheaper now.
Well, he'll be cheaper than he was, unless he wins tomorrow. He'll be cheaper than he would be, but I think it's a value play because he's almost won all of those Group 1s.
He has, and you've got Blue Point in there as well, and he was magnificent in France that year, with mentioning, you know, like the likes of Lake Victoria, not Lake Victoria, but Opera Singer. That was the Scorching Hot Arc 2 years ago, and I've always had a love for him. I'd love to see him happen because I say, if it was raining soup, Rosalian would have a fork, and hopefully tomorrow he has a spoon, Rich. But I'm going to, and you're going to think I'm nuts, and you've been questioning this. I read the post interviews after the Sun Chariot, and Fallen Angel in here, I mean, she just keeps improving. The Angel of the North. She's 7 to 1 fun. Carl Burke said she came back in like walking with a strut, ears pricked. James Doyle said, send her to Ascot. She can have her holidays then. She can have her holidays, and if she comes out well of this, we get her next year again. And we don't get to see a lot of mares, you know, up to that age. And we've had such a great journey with her anyway. So for me, I would love to see her win. I don't know enough about Field of Gold. Anytime I've backed him, he's got beaten. So I won't be touching him with a barge pole. I would like him and Colin to finish off
and then you get beat. And then
Fallen Angel wins. I would like to see him finish off the season on a high with Colin. And for me in here, Never So Brave.
I think it's got a chance.
This horse is unbeaten, and I know we don't go off dreams or anything, but this morning I did actually have a dream that he'd won. So,
yeah, but it was at Dundalk on grass.
On grass, yeah. So the brain was a little bit against Wallan, who runs tonight. It was a very good handicapper, but yeah. So each way playing here, Never So Brave. But I like Fallen Angel. If Field of Gold wins, I'm happy for him. If Rosalian finally gets his spoon, I'm delighted.
Yeah, that Sun Chariot at Newmarket was one of the fastest races. I mean, it was the fastest race of the weekend, I think. Give a little shout out to Race IQ for giving me that information. I don't know if it was track record, but it was like one of the fastest run races of its time or something like that.
Makes me even more excited.
Sorry for the stats, sorry about that. But she's only run against the boys once, I think, and she wasn't very good, but she's a much better horse now.
Oh,
she's a much better horse now.
She's a fine wine.
So,
she is a fine wine.
Yeah, I would love to see her win. She's a fantastic horse.
She's gorgeous.
Look, it would just top Carl Burke's season off if she does so.
And the North will go wild.
They will.
They will.
Yeah. So hopefully, yeah, if Rosalien can't do it, Fallen Angel, I'd be happy to see. All eyes will then be on the Champion Stakes, and we have an absolutely unbelievable renewal of this race. I won't be having a bet in the race because, to be honest, if any of the top three, Calandigan, Ombudsman or Delacroix, win, I'll be happy to see it because they're all absolutely unbelievable horses. I think if everything goes to plan, obviously there's some pacemakers in here which you either love or you don't. I haven't got a problem with it at all.
You will if you back them and they win on 150 to 1. You love them.
Kirat style, but yeah, I haven't got a problem with it as long as they don't get in the way of things. And hopefully they are running on merits. They are at least trying. They're not going out there to blistering paces, and hopefully they just set nice fractions and, you know, shows that they can win with Kirat, what he did in the Sussex. If everything does go to plan and the race runs to suit everybody, then Ombudsman will just win. That is, I think, the way it will happen. And I do think, if you're basing it off of that I think Ombudsman will win the race. Calandigan, he's a bit of a pig. We saw that at Epsom when he wouldn't go past Jan Bruegel, but then he has a love for Ascot, and it was amazing to see him win the King George. It was a great day. I was there, and yeah, great to walk him in, and he's very, very impressive. Now, Delacroix, you love him. You absolutely love him, and obviously he's going to be retiring after this, so I know you want to see him win. We will just have to touch on economics.
Yeah.
Amazing to see him back.
Incredible to see him back. I didn't think we were going to see him at all, but I mean, Haggis obviously sees something at home. There's a lot of the naysayers. He's 11 to 1. 11 to 1 for economics for a horse that we haven't seen in a year. You know, somebody is seeing something.
Yeah, they have, but to beat all three of those big boys, you know, he's got to do something absolutely incredible for me.
Yeah, and the last time we experienced him and enjoyed him in the flesh was Champion Stakes last year when, you know, August Rodin, who is now off being a daddy, and you wonder, you know, economics is a time for you to go be a daddy. But no, I'm glad we're getting to enjoy him.
I think with the owners, they want to see their horses run, which is great. They're in it for the enjoyment of that more so than the bloodstock side of it. Obviously they have that, but they want to see their horses run, and it's nice to see them come back out. I think this is not obviously a prep run, it's a Champion Stakes, but he may have opportunities abroad, you know, in the Middle East.
Abroad?
Potentially coming up
going abroad
in the winter and the spring. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. But I don't think he can win this against those.
No, but if he places, I'd be delighted, you know, and all his old fans are going to be behind him. For me, it's Delacroix, Del Boys, goodbye party. Aidan isn't sending him over for nothing. Coolmore and Ballydoyle would have said goodbye to him.
Are you surprised he's running?
No, because they obviously are seeing something at home. They would not send him. The last horse that Coolmore sent out was Magical in 2019 that did the Irish and the English Champion Stakes in 1 year. And it was, you know, it was thought that he'd win the Irish Champion Stakes and then he'd be retired. So he was obviously still showing something, and I would just love it. So for me, it's his goodbye party. Ombudsman, I respect him. He's never done anything for me. Never. No. And Calandigan, I just can't trust. And when you can't trust, that's a little bit of the there. Maybe we're giving you the TriCast in here. Almeric, I think, with Oisin's going to be crowned champion again. Up here, 18 to 1 he is. 18 to 1. So I think he's worth a little bit of each way play. But for me, Del Boy, Delacroix, all day, every day, whatever day.
There we go. And on to the lucky last, which is big handicap, the Balmoral, over a mile. Native Warrior is in here.
Maybe that's your Watnam winner.
There we go. He's a group horse in handicap, probably. We don't know about the draw, so my two selections come either side of the track. The first one is Crown of Oaks. Now carried a penalty in the Curragh, went off odds on and got beat.
Did a silly bet.
Did a bit of a silly bet that day. Thought the horse probably should have run in the Cambridgeshire actually, but yeah, that bet is gone now. I think at this, I think you can nearly get 6 to 1 now. I think it's 11 to 2, 6 to 1. I don't think that's a bad bet. Another horse that potentially could be up to group class next season. Was very, very impressive in 2 starts before that Curragh run. But the other side of the track, I'll give a shout to Great Acclaim. Eve Johnson-Horton had a great season. Has run against the favourite quite a lot, 3 times I think, or maybe twice, and was actually giving Native Warrior weight the first time they met, got a little bit of weight last time, and now gets I think £9 off of him. Now he's 9 to 2 and Great Acclaim's about 14, 16 to 1. I think the price differential's too big. I don't know which side of the draw, which side of the track you want to be, so back one side, back one the other, and then hope that your horses come out in front.
Or in the middle, like
Or
a
in the
ham
middle.
sandwich.
Yeah. What about you?
Crown of Oaks I really like in here. He's not carrying the penalty this time. If Haggis and Marquanda to have a winner, this is going to be your winner. I like Orandi in here, the handicapping king, Tony Martin, with David Egan up. Orandi though, the only problem is I think he needed more juice. He's 28 to 1 here, and I think I found a goodie. Came from the same draw as Lord Glitters, same trainer, David O'Mara, Bo Pedro in here. Low weight, 25 to 1 fun. Third at Royal Ascot, and you know what I say, if they failed at Royal Ascot, a third at Royal Ascot you're not really failing, but you haven't won.
Yeah.
You come back
Royal
and
Hunt
you
Cup, I
win.
think.
Yeah, Royal Hunt, you come back and win. So I really like Bo Pedro in here, 25 to 1. Crown of Oaks, well, I mean, if Haggis is to have a winner, Haggis Marquand, this is your winner in the Balmoral. So
Bo Pedro,
Bo Pedro.
owned by Jorginho Rutt, who plays for Brighton.
Yeah.
And he was actually at Brighton yesterday just to watch, didn't even have a runner.
Yeah,
So
and
that
it was
just
great to
shows you.
see, you know, great to see.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Happy final, flat British season finale. And be lucky.
Be lucky.
Bye bye, Del Boy.
See you later.